So I'm Philippe, I'm the CTO of Fortiche. I'm just a sidekick on this. This is Martin Bailly, the 2D environment supervisor. He's going to give you so much detail about his process. I want to thank Foundry for the invitation and giving me the occasion to go into really more detail about Ventilation's fan. And we are coming from a tiny studio based in France. We are also in Spain, in Las Palmas. That's called Fortiche, that maybe a couple of you heard of. And we're coming from commercials and video clip, and something that one project that changed the game. It's these projects right there. It's like Gaviota right there. So if you're an Arcane fan, that's a show you of Arcane, and if you're an Arcane fan, have a look at this video clip that's called like Gaviota, and it was the reason that Riot worked with us, and we got the occasion to start working with a tiny video game company at Riot Games, and they did a project that's called Get Jinx together. And we got the occasion to work on the wonderful project, tiny project that you heard of, that's called Arcane. And we're gonna see a tiny teaser, of course, for introducing the show for maybe some people that never seen the project before.
Nice. Hello, everyone. I'm super glad to be here. So I'm Martin Bailly. I'm the 2D environment supervisor at Fortiche. I was lead matte painter on season 1, lead matte painter on season 2, moved to 2D asset environment supervisor on season 2, and now global 2D environment supervisor. So yeah, I'm going to talk about like matte painting at Fortiche and how we use matte painting and Mari to do this special show that is Arcane. So yeah, a little disclaimer before we start. Due to the pace and the timing and the duration of Arcane, I've started Arcane, arrived in 2019. So yeah, it was super long, so we had to stick with an old version of Mari. So yeah, all the images that you're going to see are based on Mari 3.3, but as Philippe was saying, we've moved to Mari 7, so it's going to be nice. So yeah, to begin with, I'm going to talk a little bit about the Fortiche style and the Fortiche way of thinking about art and challenges. From the music video La Gaviota in 2012, which put us on the spotlight of Christian Linke, who is the showrunner of Arcane. that really put us on the map to our latest show that is called Welcome to Noxus. But yeah, we're always trying to have this kind of painterly look. So we really want you to feel that you're really diving into an art book. So it's when you look at concept art, you really have the sensation for most of the movies that there is kind of a change between the concept art and the final result. So we at Fortiche, we always try to really bring you into the concept art. So we really want you, that the characters that you see on screen, you really want them to move. So we try to bring the art and the paint directly on the screen. Like, for example, this color script, we really try to stick to it as a painterly feeling and painterly look up to the final result. So it's not really a matter of like thinking about Fortiche as a 3D studio. We are more like thinking about ourselves as 2D animation studio with live action cameras and 3D sets. So to achieve this style, we try to bridge the gap between a prop and what is matte painted background. So, and we have like one constraint is what we call the Scooby-Doo effect. So it's really obvious what you see on screen, what is a background, what is a props, what is a character. So it's all those kind of stuff that we try to do so the viewers, he really needs to always have the question in mind, like, is it a prop? Is it a matte painting? Is it 3D or is it 2D? It's always what we really want you to like have those questions in mind when you are looking at Aarkein. So as a general rule, what we can call a prop is something that the characters are handling. So you can have like guns, weapons, clothes, specific objects, vehicles, and stuff like that. And environment is kind of all the rest. So you can have some stuff in the foreground, background. Really, what's not moving is really the matte painting. So it's always like try to be as simple as possible. If you can do that in matte painting, do it in matte painting. You don't have to really overthink stuff. If you see like an object for just one shot, you don't have to like model it and really on all the 360 turn is like really like if you just see an asset, just paint it. It's way more simple. Yeah, just cherish craftsmanship. So as Candice, our texturing supervisor, will tell you better than me.
We paint it.
Yeah. It's really the essence of what we are doing is like, if we want you to feel that it's painted, we just paint it. There's no shortcut from the sky to the background to the vegetation in the front. Yeah, everything is painted from the camera point of view. So it's really like the matte painting technique pushed to the really like for all the shots. So it's exactly the same. When we want you to feel that it's made with charcoal, we just make it with charcoal. There is like, it's kind of the easiest and fastest way. We are making like a TV series, so we don't have like, we have a budget, but we have some deadline and stuff. So yeah, we don't have like a lot of time to do those stuff. So we can't really like work on the shaders that's gonna feel painted and stuff. So it's kind of easier to like, yeah, if it needs to be made with charcoal, like do it with charcoal. We're gonna scan the charcoal papers and like integrate them in comp. It's those kind of stuff that we are always like thinking about. Like if you want it to feel that it's painted, you take a pen and you just paint it. So yeah, it's really how we made everything into the 3D scene. It just like use camera mapping just everywhere from the design phase to the end of the department phases. So really use it like whenever we want and wherever we can. So on the going back to the previous example, everything that you see on the shot is matte painted. except the drinks on the right, because the characters are like touching the glasses. So everything else is matte painted. Even the smoke and the corpse in this shot are matte painted because, it's really going back to keep it simple. We don't have to simulate a huge simulation of smoke and stuff. You just have to paint the smoke and just move them on a card. It's way easier and way faster. Even for the corpse, perhaps you can pose them with the animation team and just repaint everything in matte. But as I was saying at the beginning, at Fortiche, we're really inspired by live action movies. So everything from photography to cinematography is really always rendered into those kind of projects. So we really try to be flexible with the way we use camera movement and placement. So we have a lot of camera setups. So crane, tracks, handle camera, we got it all. So there is challenges for camera projection. There are some points where the camera projection approach, it's not enough. So because the camera movements are too complex or the object movements are really too wide. So you need to jump to the kind of standard way of doing assets is with UVs and texturing. So for kind of simple objects like the chair in the background, to more complex ones like the airship, to more complex environments, it's really kind of use the right tool for the job. So that's where Mari comes in handy. It's really kind of the center of how we can make those kind of stuff possible. So I'm going to dive into how we use Mari into a regular process. Just so you know, the majority of the artists that we have on the department, the matte painting department, they don't really come from a texturing background. They are all illustrators, concept artists. They don't have a 3D background. So the jump to Mari was kind of an easy transition because it's really close to what you used to in a 2D software. You have the tools, you have a layering system, you have a simple UI, you have a simple viewport, you have a super powerful brush editor that's kind of similar as Photoshop. So it was really easy for us to jump between Photoshop and Mari and take the same brush packs. You can easily import them into Mari. So it was really a smooth transition for us. We've missed a feature in Mari 3. It was the color jitter, but it happened on the next iteration of Mari. So I'm super glad. So yeah, talking about the layer system, you can easily also, if you feel more adventurous, you can jump to the nodal approach. So I'm kind of a huge fan of that, but I know that my whole team were what are you thinking, Martin? So yeah, you can really be as simple as you want and as complex as you want with Mari. It was really important for us to have those range of possibilities. So even if you can just stay organized, it can be a mess, of course, but you can stay organized. So talking about process, it's kind of the same from season 1 to season 2. We didn't have the time to change processes because it was a super long time, and it was more clean and efficient to don't change the process at all. So we try to stay as simple and straight to the point as possible. So starting with some stuff that we already know and were best for us was to jump to the matte painting approach at the beginning. So using Photoshop and Maya and taking all those informations and bringing it back to Mari. So taking back the layer from Photoshop, put them in Mari, taking the geometries, the cameras, and from Maya and put them into Mari. Mari allows us to project all the stuff that we've already done in Photoshop to put them and project them onto the UVs through the projectors. So you have it's a super useful tool that you import all your cameras from different softwares. So for us, it was Maya, and we can really like project all the information that we have already painted directly onto the geometry from those projectors. So you can project your matte painting from different point of view. But you can also like create your own point of view to project what you wanted. So as you import it to your camera projections, you can also import your shot cameras, so you can quickly and easily check all the assets that you're working on directly in the shot. So you can really look for what you're missing into resolution. If you need to, if the camera movement is super fast, you don't have to stay as much as you need on those kind of areas. You can really concentrate on what's going to be best for the shots. So it's kind of always like a jump between your 3D view and the shot view. So it's really, really nice. So you have the timeline, so you can also like check the shot in context and really see all the work that you've done to see if everything is working. But of course, most of the time, you're going to have like a super long list of cameras and projectors. So it's not really what you want. Sometimes you just want to be really quick and just paint into Mari. But so you have like an option. It's called the quick projections. So you don't have to feel stuck to one projector. It's kind of like a temporary one. So you can just like take your camera, project the stuff that you need, and there is a useful feature like called unproject. Is kind of rendering the viewport to take it back into a 2D program. So you can really jump between Photoshop and Mari, going back and forth. So you have the option of those kind of options into the projectors tab, but you can also go with the quick projection. I think it's kind of, for us, it was kind of the essential tool in Mari for us, because as we are not really, we are really simple guys. So we kind of want to do the brute force approach where if you move, it's over. When it's done, it's done. So you really had to like do the projection, unproject, go to Photoshop, do your paint, go back to Mari, project, move, and really do the back and forth between Mari and Photoshop. So you don't have to like, oh, I've made a mistake, I need to go back to the old projection. Sorry, I can't come back to it. It doesn't really matter. It's like, oh, but you can fix it with another point of view. It doesn't really matter. So projectors and quick projector will get you a long way, but ultimately you really found yourself painting directly into the viewport. So you can paint it to the viewport, move around. But if you're more comfortable with like a 2D approach, you can always like jump to the UVs and paint into the UV. So you also have the possibility to do the projectors and quick project from the UV view. That's super useful. And of course, if you're, again, not really familiar with painting into Mari, you can just export your map, go back to Photoshop, paint it to Photoshop, re-import the maps into Mari. It's a bit long, but you can do that. So when everything was done for us into the kind of albedo-ish style of painting, we've done like some technical passes for the department after us. So we could do like alternative version of the matte painting, perhaps shadow pass, ID pass, if the compositing team needed some specific stuff. So like in this example, we've done like a couple of versions of the same DMP. It was like a full shadow pass, a full light pass, and a mask. So most of the time in the shots, we could just use the matte painting version. But like, I don't know, for example, the lighting team or the compositing team wasn't really happy with the shadows into a specific shot, they can just recompose everything with their own shadows, with the different passes that we gave them. So it was kind of a typical way of working for us. It's always like try to be as simple as possible. So if the shadows need to be baked into the matte painting, you bake them into the matte painting. And if you think about interaction with characters and you know that you're going to need to integrate some shadows and stuff like that, you need to like think about those stuff and create the right passes for the next department. And of course, when you finish with all your texturing work, we have just like a standard exporter that can allow us to export specific UDIMs and objects. So that's how we managed to do the Jinx Airship. So yes, it's a vehicle with high range of motion, and it's handled by a lot of characters. So Jinx, Echo, I think Warwick is like jumping on it. So there is like a lot of interaction. So you're gonna ask me like, yeah, but as you were saying before, like it wasn't supposed to be like a props. So yes, but no. So the first reason why we did that into the matte painting department is because like the Jinx Airship is really like something really specific that we already saw it into season 1 and season 2 as a different kind of environment. It was called the Jinx Lair at the time, but the art director really wanted like to have the same approach as a painterly style. So it's kind of how we see it in the beginning of season 2. So we really wanted to feel that it was painted the similar way, because like the character team have their own kind of own way of painting stuff, and we have our own kind of style of painting for the environment. So it was kind of natural for us to do those kind of texturing work. And as it's a massive part of some shots, it wouldn't have been really integrated between the previous shot and the next shots. So it was kind of, yeah, the base approach for us to really do that in our department. And of course, like to avoid the, as we call the Scooby-Doo effect. So that's why like we kind of handled the full texturing of this asset. So it was really like a really like long process because yeah, you see really this asset from really close-up shots to a really wide shot. So it was kind of always a balance between what you're gonna add into what detail you're gonna see or not on screen. When you do a matte painting, you really focus on what you've seen in the shots. So if it's in the background, perhaps you're not gonna do a lot of detail. If it's in close-ups, you're gonna add detail. And for those kind of assets where it's moving from back and forth from the camera, it's always like a balance. Like, are we like pushing the asset with a lot of detail, or do we do the reverse with simple detail and we do like a pass per shot? It was kind of not the approach. We approach it like, yeah, let's do the full detailed version, and comp will adjust the level of detail with stuff in Nuke. So yeah, it was like 37 UDIMs of 8K. So it's kind of a lot of detail on those kind of assets. It's really trying to push the detail from top to bottom to close up to the wide angles. So we had the privilege to like add all the little detail from Jinx and what she's kind of imagined, like what she's drawn from all over the years, because like it's kind of her own little bubble. So she's painted everything from like close-ups to like some really tiny detail, because like on the end of season 1 she's small, and no, not like she's kind of not old, but like she's kind of young, and like she's grown up on season 2. So it's kind of like imagine like what she could have like drawn all over the year. So yeah, it was kind of our final challenge because it was like a super long process to do season 1 and season 2, and those kind of assets was like really a good way to say goodbye to Jinx and to let the season 2 fly out of our end to air on Netflix. So yeah, we still had some time to slip some references to the people on the team. So you can see that we've like drawn some cats and dogs from the team and the full list of credits of the team. It was like, yeah, a nice way to say goodbye to the show also. And yeah, like to ramp up is like the matte painting department, like on season 2, we've done like for the 7,000 shots, we've done around 4,000 matte paintings. So it's kind of a huge amount of paint. Yeah, it's always like a balance between like, are we all going to do that in matte painting for all the shots, or are we clever and is it like more efficient to do those kind of big assets that we can shoot from all the places? So on the 20 full assets, colored assets that we've done 19 with Mari. So it was kind of a huge help for us, and it allowed us to on the 7,000 shots. Mari allows us to do 1,300 shots, so it's kind of a huge help in our process. So yeah, if you need more information, as we were saying, like you can take the QR code and go to the Mari website. And yeah, if you want to have more information about Fortiche, don't hesitate to go on the website also. And yeah, and of course, yeah, thanks.